Hello, I am Asheron, and welcome to my study. And today, we are back after I actually just checked a little bit ago to figure out what number of stream this would be. But this is I think 11 months after our last Asheron's Call stream, which it means it's been a while. It's been a little bit. And this is the 8th Levistras stream. I think I had like, I don't know, at least 10 Asheron's Call streams on my own server, and then I moved over to Levistras, and then I did like 7 streams over there, and then I moved to YouTube, so now we're on to the 8th stream. All the other streams are off on my VOD channel, if you're wondering where the heck those have gone to, because it is a bit odd to have the 8th stream on here and none of the other streams, so that's the explanation. It's over there somewhere on the VOD channel, like 11 months back, and then further back because I don't know. Did I play all those in a row? I don't think I did. Either way, a lot has changed since then. I think on those streams I was playing my mage named Asheron. Now I am on my archer named Eleonora after Eleonora du Belenès. So that's good. And we're just gonna do dailies because I have to do my dailies, and that's about it. First, stipend. Should I get my stipend today? This character's a little offset from my other characters, but I might as well just get it on cooldown because I play this character the most. But yeah, so what should we do first? I think we'll start with the most prominent quests, like the Cavernous Ulthoi Chasm is usually what I start with, I think. And Dr. Monroe, get our stipend, thank you very much. Alright. So, Cavernous Ulthoi Chasm. That place is easy. Especially because I just buffed right before I started the stream, so the first like 2 minutes of the stream wouldn't just be me here trying to buff myself and like fizzling every other spell because my item enchantment is not quite up to snuff just yet. It's one of those things that just is never, I'm going the wrong way, is never really at the proper level to cast any of your spells. Because let's see, I poured like a quadrillion XP into it, and yet it is just not quite there yet. And on cue, the cat wants in. I'm telling you, like, we need to get a little stopwatch here, and I'm pretty sure about 5 minutes into every stream, she wants either in or out of the room. Uncanny timing, kitty. Okay, but at least we have auto run, so I can just be letting the cat in and be running off into the sunset on my other, on the monitor. So that's great. So it was very painful because I didn't do any of my dailies yesterday, which hurt me greatly because I got used to doing all my dailies on this character every day. I did end up still doing things in Asheron's Call, as I have been doing every day lately. But I did Bellis on my 2 characters that are at Bellis level on the server. What else did I do? I did other things. I played my 2-handed character, which they're still a little babby, but I do have a 2-hander character that I wanted to level up. Because it's so good for like clearing enemies and farming certain items from enemy drops, because you can mow them down. So, I kind of want a high-level 2-hander character, especially because bow is like the opposite of 2-handed. You may have high damage, but it's high single target damage, and you can never really do AoE. Mages can do AoE. I guess sometimes melee people can do AoE, like my, what is that? She's meowing in the hallway even though the door is still open. I don't know. She's being a bit of a spaz, but yeah, melee characters can do AoEs if their weapon has a cast on strike, like my what is it called? Blood something? Blood Scourge? Blood Scorch? Blood Scorch. I think that's it. And that thing's great. I do think ranged characters get the gear crossbow, and I think that has a built-in AoE. But what I'm trying to say is, all in all, archers do not AoE. They just are not great at that. But two-handed characters are the very opposite, because all they do is AoE. And that is great in some circumstances. But, you know, they're still leveling up. They're not quite high enough level to do anything yet. I can't even do a full rotation of dailies on them because they're only like 46, I think they are right now. But, you know, it's great. I gave them one of my holiday XP gems so they could just get boosted up to a decent level real quick, like, and now they're in amateur explorer armor, so they're doing well. They're gonna go places. I also got them. It's really unfortunate because they're at a middle ground where they have no two-handed weapons, like none, because for some reason early game two-handers absolutely suck and or are non-existent. Like the friggin' Tetsubo Slugger, which I think is the lowest level quest two-hander in the game regularly. I mean, on this server they have Ice Nodachi, I think. Part of the Ice Tachi quest, but they have another drop that's a two-handed weapon. And that one's decent. That's what I used at like level 10. But all in all, there are no really good quest two-handers. That's always been a big issue in this game. But, you know, it's fine. Because we're getting to that level. I think they're at like 300 base two-handed skill now, because I really invested into it. But they certainly need a lot more work, because most of the decent two-hander weapons are 325 base skill. So we're still a little ways off from being able to use pretty much any good weapons. So I got them a singularity weapon, which was difficult. We almost died like 3 times trying to get that. But it's pretty much one of the only decent two-hander weapons that has a 250 base requirement. Like, I don't know, with every other weapon, there's a million weapons that have a 250 base requirement, but not two-handers. It just does not exist. It's either 325, 375, or 400 for pretty much every good questing two-hander, and it's just ridiculous. I do feel like Levistras has worked with the Ice Tachi quest to try to remedy that lack of low-level two-handers, but there's still a big gap in level, you know, between the Ice Nodachi and the next quest two-hander. I guess you're just expected to get loot two-handers, but I'm never really a fan of that, because until you can get rendings, you can't really get a very decent weapon. Up until, unless you can get a crippling blow biting strike weapon, like a quest weapon. Those can be rather decent. Like the singularity weapon has crushing blow, biting strike. Or is it crippling blow? No, crippling blow is, isn't that dirty fighting? I don't know. I'm getting all the terminology mixed up. But also, I'm just on like complete autopilot through this dungeon. I have done this dungeon probably well over 200 to 400 times. So I can just yap all I want. I barely even need to look at the screen. I just kind of zone out but the game just goes. And you know, most of the time I'm just staring at this using like the little mental image I have of the map on the wiki, and kind of just using that based on strength of familiarity. You know, because if there's a tunnel and I'm like, hey, that tunnel looks familiar, then I'm pretty sure that's the right tunnel, because that's all I can really go off of. I'll grab one of these, jump through the portal. I have been picking up all the notes. Okay, good. I haven't zoned out that much. Because I've done that before, where I just run through the portal without picking up the note, and then you have to go all the way back to the start, and it's ridiculous. Why did I run out here, by the way? One of my portal ties is to this dungeon. Yeah, I completely forget about that, like, every time. But anyway. So we'll go through here. Use one of these, as I always do. Go down in here. Ignore the cacophony of corpses all around this dungeon. Many, many, many people go way too far in this place, including me. I have certainly gone too far. And I mean, look at this. Look at how many people died trying to get the acid pool here. That is just very upsetting. Seeing the giant pile of corpses. Oh, and I haven't gone about fixing my UI yet, sadly. I really should. I just keep putting it off because I have to like rebuild the entire thing from scratch. And I don't wanna. So I'm just like, nope. I'm just gonna wait on that. I just want to keep doing my dailies. That's what I want. It's kind of all I've been doing lately in my spare time is like watching shows while doing dailies. Which has been great. It's been fun. Which is why I'm streaming it now. It's because, you know, if it's something I'm already doing in my free time, might as well stream it. I mean, why not? Alright, here's my collection of gems of stillness. Make sure that's topped up. Yeah, so let's see. Let's 5, 10, 15, 20, 220 gems of stillness. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Okay, now let's go and do what would be the next best thing to do? I could do pincers and tusks, but I only really do those for the trade notes at this point. And the tusks for the portal gems, which I'm running low on. Yeah, look at that. I only have 45 of them. What happens when I use it 45 more times? I'll be out. We gotta do some tusks. So let's, I think I only do 60 up on the tusks, because there's still a lot of tusks from 60 up that get you a lot of portal gems, and the lower level ones give like negligible amounts of XP at this point. Beyond negligible, like literally chump change. So that's always the issue with the tusks. They give us so little XP on the lower ones. The pincers, I'm pretty sure like the first pincer gives you 500k, but then the first tusk gives 100k. It's like, why is that? It's just, I mean, I know the enemies are 5 levels lower, but still, 1/5 the XP for being 3/5 or 3/4 the level is not a fair trade. But yes. What else is there to talk? What was I saying before? I was saying things and stuff. Well, I've been playing on Levistras quite a bit as of late, and I've got a good amount of stuff set up. I'm kind of setting up a system similar to what I had on my own server, which is sad because I should be improving upon the system I had on there, but I'm not. I would be, trust me, I would be improving on it if I was able to access my second account, because on Levistras you're allowed to have 2 accounts per person, and I think they do that by IP address, and I'm fairly certain that somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody at my own same IP address has another account here. And that means that if I ever try to make another account here, it will be automatically deleted after I log out of it, because, at least I think so. Because I remember at the beginning, in Indie Beninging, when I was trying to play on here, I tried having a duo account set up, and one of the accounts kept disappearing, and I didn't know why, or it disappeared at some point, and I couldn't log back into it. And so it was really or when I did log into it, it had 0 characters on it every time. So it was very weird, very bizarre. And now I don't want to try to make a second account for fear that it might delete my main account, because I then have 2 accounts and it just deletes one. I would assume it would delete the newer one, but I don't know. I don't want to really risk it. I have been meaning to maybe talk to the higher-ups at Levistras HQ and see what they say about it and how the system works and if I can get access to a second account. Because if I can... Well, it's a bit late now. Because I was going to say, preferably, I would set up an intricate chain of XP among all my characters, but you can only do that between 2 accounts because you need 2 people logged in simultaneously to swear under each other. And so if you only have 1 account, you can't swear under any of your own characters. Right now, you all know Unknown Man. He's a bit of a celebrity around here. He has his character, Unknown Man, on the server that I coerced him into playing with me. And actually, we just played a little bit yesterday. We didn't really do anything important, but we played a bit, ran around. I showed him the Coliseum. It was great. But I right now just have all my characters under him, which is a good use of my time, just because I like doing all my dailies every day. And that means that, you know, with him not being able to do all his dailies every day, he would inevitably fall behind if I didn't have characters under him boosting him up with XP. So to keep his character from falling behind my character, who I'm constantly playing on my own, it's a good system, you know? And yes, so that's how I have it set up, but I would preferably have a chain, as I said, with my own characters boosting my other characters up. And so, like, you make all your characters at once, put the person that you want to have at the top, have everyone under them, or have someone under him, and then someone else under them, and then someone else under them, you know, just make a chain back and forth between the 2 accounts. But that wasn't really possible, as I said, with the thing where I kind of seem to only be able to have 1 account on here right now, which is fine. No, Mega Man is in here, killing a bunch of Tusk. Hopefully the Tusk is still here. And hopefully I'm not running ahead and, like, stealing the Tusk from I probably am. But it's fine. I'll leave a Tusk for them. See, 2 Tusks. I take 1, I leave 1. That is the way of the world. I think they only drop 1 Tusk on vanilla servers, which is quite a shame. I do like that they drop 2 Tusks here, because then you can actually, like, share with people and you don't feel sucky for just running ahead and taking their loot. But what else is there to say? I've been doing a lot. This character's been getting put together pretty well. I had to get some advice from an older sibling of mine in order to be able to put this character together properly, because I'm not used to playing archers. This is like my first actual decent high-level archer. On my own server, I had an archer there as well, but they were always feeling underpowered, and I realized that's because I kept giving them the tinkering skills, because archers always have so many crafting skills already that it just becomes a natural inclination to be like, oh, I'll just shove all the tinkering skills on them as well. It's not that expensive to do that. But then it turns out that's why all my archers end up so weak, is because I could be using those points getting better magic, or getting defensive skills, or offensive skills, or, you know, any one of the many skills that you need to be most effective. I think we'll just kill most of these guys, because they're pretty wimpy, and they have a chance of dropping Scarlet Red letters or Lucky Gold letters, which I will need for my 2-hander character. Because while I have them in amateur armor right now. I would like them in seasoned armor as soon as I can, so I can move that amateur armor back to my tinkering character, because that's what they've been wearing lately. So we'll just clear these guys out. And then after the tusks, because I need more portal gems, that's mainly why I'm here, then we will go... What do we do next? I don't know. What is there to do next? Hey, that's exactly what I need. I don't know, I do these dailies so often, but for some reason... Oh, Glendenwood quest, that's it. I was gonna say, I'm somehow drawing a blank on what the quest order is. I think just because I'm on stream and it's like throwing off my... I'm sorry, you've thrown off the Emperor's groove. I think did we get the tusk? Yeah, we got the tusk. So we'll just skim through these guys for easy salvage. Nope, nothing. Or letters, I was gonna say, but they're all picked through, so that's fine. But we got one of each letter. That's not bad. Let's put you with the other tusk. There we go. Let's while we run to our next appointment here, let's get some salvaging done. Yeah, as part of getting set up on the server, I'm trying to get some salvaging going, which is difficult because normally, on regular servers, not my own server, because I never really macroed on my server, but normally you're not supposed to, but a lot of people would macro to get their salvage, because that's just the most efficient way to get high quality salvage in bulk. But this is a no macroing server, a no botting server in any way, so you can't really do that, which I'm happy about. That it definitely gives salvage a lot more value, but it also makes it accrue a lot slower. So I got Pyreal for augmented understanding going. We got the regulars like brass and mahogany, because, ranged weapons. We got opal for crit, sunstone for armor rending, all of the regular rendings, of course, iron for increased dabblage. All the good ones. Not all the good ones, I could be getting, like, gold for death items, and... What's the one that reduces burden? I don't know. And then I know there's a bunch of armor ones that I'm just not super familiar with, because I've never really done armor tinkering. I will have to, because actually the way I'm building my two-hander character is in such a way that they will require a lot of armor tinkering, because they're a bit of an experimental build. What I'm hoping is that I will be able to get away with not having any magic except for item tinkering. And even item tinkering, I might... No, I'll keep item... Or not item tinkering, item enchantment. I might even drop item enchantment, but I don't think I will, because it has too much utility as a portaling type thing. But... yeah, so portal magic pretty much to be the only thing that I would use it for. And maybe slight buffing. But the plan is that once I get them up to about level 150, I will use my immense collection of Mana Forge keys, which I've already burned through half of them, and I still have so many. Because the book drop that I attend every day recently gives me like at least 4 of those strengthened Mana Forge keys every single day, and so I have a ton of them. And I will burn through some of them to hopefully find a full set of either Covenant or Ulthoi armor that has decent spells on it. Because I did the math, and it really surprised me, because I always thought it was so impossible to get a full set of gear that would fully buff itself, you know, that fully buffs me. But I did the math, and realistically, on my two-handed character, all the buffs that I will need is, I will need 5 attribute boosting buffs, so, you know, strength, coordination, quickness, endurance, and focus. I don't really need self. I would take self if I can find it somewhere, in addition to all my other buffs. But you really don't, I don't need it. All it would really do is buff my item enchantment somewhat and my magic resistance by a tiny, tiny bit. So not super important, but I'll take it if I can get it. But yeah, at bare minimum, just the 5, what do you call them, attribute buffs. And then I would only need 5, or like necessarily require 5 skill buffs. Let me look if I can remember which skills they were. It was, you need two-handed combat, melee defense, magic defense. So that's 3. And then I think healing, an item enchantment? I don't remember exactly what the 5 were, but, you know, in theory, you don't necessarily need, like, oh, yes, I need dirty fighting mastery. Like, I don't need that. I'm sure it'll be high enough level as it is. If I just max it out in the late game, it's probably going to be plenty high level. Same with pretty much all the other minor things, like recklessness and deception and sneak attack. None of those really need their own buffs. You know? You get enough of them, right? I think. So I'll need to get basically just 12 buffs, which, I don't know, okay, it might sound like a lot, but I was assuming I would need like 20 buffs, which would really be a lot. And I mean, items can have like 5 to 6 buffs on them, plus 1 or 2 cantrips. You know, if you find a good piece of gear, it can have a ton of buffs. So I might even be able to get gear that does what I want it to do and has the buffs that I need and is in a set bonus and is unenchantable without too much issue, I would think. I mean, out of like 100 Mana Forge keys, there's got to be a few pieces that match the description, right? So yeah, I'm sure that I'll be able to put that together eventually. I don't know. I might need... Can you let me through, please? I'm asking nicely. I have places to be, Mr. Tuskerman. Thank you. Yeah, eventually I will find that set of armor, and then I'll be set for life, you know? I mean, it'll be great. Until I need to put a set together from legendary chests, and I need to get legendary cantrips for all of those, and and level 8 buffs for all of those. Then things get a little bit more complicated. But, you know, that's an issue for later me, you know? I'm just looking at level 150 to 200, you know? If I can just get the level 150 requirement armor and the level 7 buffs and the epic cantrips, I'll be happy, you know? And then late game me can deal with the rest of the BS. But yes, that is my plan, to have a two-handed character with 0 self-buffing required. Because the item enchantment wouldn't even need to be used for self-buffing if I can get unenchantable armor, like Ulthoi armor or Covenant armor. But that's where the tinkering comes in. I'll need to collect, like, what is it, wool for cold resistance, and steel for armor level, and other things. I know there's like one material for each elemental resistance, but I can't remember exactly what all of them are, because as I said, I don't really do armor tinkering ever in my life up to this point. So it's gonna be a new experience, to be fair. But we'll figure it out as we go. We still have like 100 levels before I can even equip that armor on my two-hander. And until then, all I need is Explorer armor and item enchantment buffs for it, and I'll be sitting pretty. I mean, that's what my archer has been using, and this stuff is still pretty beefy. You know, I mean, 1,000 elemental armor level, I'm pretty sure that's almost on par with ancient armor. Fairly certain. So, pretty strong stuff, and it gives a full set of, at least a full set of the relevant buffs, plus a lot of, I think, major cantrips, so it's got good stuff on it. I do like not Atlan. We need an Atlan stone to make it, but it's not Atlan armor, it's the Explorer armor. And of course, this is the upgraded Explorer armor on Levistras. That is a unique concoction that they've thrown together, which I very much like. It's a good way to give kind of higher level melee and ranged armor that buffs you, because that is very lacking. Because, you know, ancient armor is much more of a mage armor because of the fact that you have to buff it yourself. And so melee characters would be left with no buffs and would just be crying in a corner because they can't do anything because they're just too wimpy. So yeah, definitely important at this level to have good gear. We're almost done with the tusks. As I've just been, you know, blabbing away and just on autopilot. And then, right, Glendenwood. And by that I mean the shattered something and something mines. I forget what it's called. It's the one with the gems for New Madeira, or crystals for New Madeira. And you go around and you do all the things and you run past all the terrifying level 200 golems that will obliterate your butt if you're not buffed. Even if you are buffed, they sometimes just do 20 damage because they feel like it. Like 20 damage per melee hit, which is terrifying. Not to mention the spells. Like, ugh. So yeah, that one will be fun. I've been able to do it pretty consistently on the Archer lately, so I think we won't have any issues, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it'll be good. I do hope things go well on my two-hander, though. It's a very experimental build. At least for me. I've never done something like that. I generally prioritize self-buffing really hard. On my own server, I was wanting to get a buff bot set up on my other account so that I would be able to buff my main account characters. And that would be great. But I never got that up and running fully. I think I got them up to level 7s that they can cast consistently. So I pretty much had them set up, but I wanted them up to level 8s. But yes. If I had gotten that, then I would have been able to reconfigure all my characters over there to be, fully offensive characters, and I wouldn't need any self-buffing skills except item enchantment. So that would have been real nice, but I stopped playing over there for now. I might go back to it if I can get the server set back up. I think resetting my computer thing has kind of borked it, because when I tried to launch it last just to see if it was still working, the server itself, it still seemed to be connected, but I think it was missing one or two pretty integral files. So the game itself could not launch, but it's probably fine. It's probably fine. I would just need to go through the whole process to set it back up again, and it should still all just be there. But that would be a lot of work. That would be a lot of effort to put that all back together. But I'm on Levistras now, which is a lot better, because then I can play with Unknown Man and actually play with other people and stop being such a Asheron's Call hermit, just sitting in my room, not even being on a server with other people. Which is funny that I say that, because I don't think I've done really any quests with anyone other than Unknown Man on the server yet. I thought about reaching out, like, yesterday to possibly ask if I could join a Coliseum run that they were talking about, because I think they were saying they didn't have enough people for it. But who's in here? Jim. Dang it, Jim. But yeah, I didn't end up doing that because, first of all, I'm not even sure if I'm high enough level for a Coliseum run, and additionally, that right after I was thinking that Unknown Man, I had to talk to Unknown Man and be like, hey, we need to swear more characters under you, and then we got into a big conversation, so it's like, didn't end up asking if I could join or not. Yoink. Okay, let's just pop out of here with one of these portal gems and go turn in. That would make it difficult. Okay. My selling bag is full of keys. I need to go put those in my house chest at some point. Turn all these in. Get all them portal gems. Go to Glendon Wood. Get all the XP. Then maybe do Sword of Beleness. And other quests. What else is there? There's probably a lot. I could do the Moorsman quests. I could still do the pincers. Why are you not giving this? There we go. Stack all these bad boys up. There we go. Okay. Salvage. Very important. I might actually finish this black opal. Nope. Just barely. Okay. Glendonwood. That's where I'm going. I keep having to remind myself because I keep forgetting. Like, every 5 seconds. Oh, and the town network is so bad for me because you know that feeling when you enter a room and you forget why you entered the room, so you kind of like start to leave and then you remember, oh yeah, that's why. That's me every time I enter the town network without like a clear goal in mind. Is I will go into the town network and then my brain will be churning and be like, what am I in here for? I could go literally anywhere. There's like a dozen different quests that I could go to, like, straight to from this location. Where am I going exactly? And it takes me a good 20 seconds sometimes to remember, oh yeah, I was gonna go do this quest, or this thing, or, and sometimes I even remember the incorrect thing and end up going somewhere completely different and then remembering later, oh hey, I never actually did this quest. So, it's tough. Life is difficult sometimes. Brain does not brain very correctly. But we're wielding our singularity bow, because it gives us good melee defense. Which is really weird. Because I noticed that the singularity weapon on my two-hander character doesn't have a melee defense buff on it. Which makes it kind of really wimpy. So I'm going to need to get... I'm going to need to wait to use it until I can have item enchantment to buff it. Because I don't have item enchantment on him yet. So, it's kind of sucky, because this thing has, as I said, it has a buff for melee defense. Right there. It's just the melee variant doesn't. Or the two-handed variant, at least. Why are you lagging? There we go. The stream is kind of lagging, too. I guess the internet's being a bit of a jerk today. We're still buffed, right? We're not Gossamer Flash, of course. Just what I need before running through a bunch of frickin' level 200 frost golems. Thank you. It's not a big deal though. I'll just tank it. My archer's pretty tanky. I set up the archer to not be wimpy because I have 108 endurance on them. They're pretty beefy, all in all. And then of course I've invested decently into endurance and health, which I could invest more. I should increase that later, but I have so many things to level up. I'm still behind on my item enchantment. My weapon skill isn't maxed yet. My melee defense just got maxed out lately, because that's... Where am I going? Not down here, that's for sure. I don't know why I keep autopiloting that way. I need to go to the Might Maze. Okay, I did get the amber. Once again, I'm like zoning out and not even realizing that I'm doing the quest half the time. Which is kind of good in some ways. It lets me focus on talking, but at the same time, it makes it so I just talk continually, and then I need to figure out what to talk about continually. And that gets a little bit difficult. Okay, track onto him. Good. Oh, speaking of Go Arrow, I just learned something amazing about it. So, when you get Go Arrow, and you do the... Where is it? Here it is, the update thing. You will have an update thing that is apparently very outdated. And so I was always upset that things like, it's not going to let me show you because I'm out in the overworld and it's going to keep locking onto my position. But once we can actually freely look at this, I'll show you some locations that are actually on it. Oh, actually, from here. Yeah, you see here, the Paradox Touched Ulthoi things are here, like the tent and all that. That isn't there on the regular Go Arrow map, because I guess that was added in after Go Arrow was a thing. And they updated the map last. So it's very nice to be able to actually have these locations and I like click on them and know where they are, instead of having to go by either memory, and you know, like Ulthoi North, I can find it just by looking at the map, even if the icons aren't there, because I know generally where it is and what it looks like on the map. But other places like ooh, that's another daily we need to do. The one in Hibiento. It has the... What's it called? Like Vault of Scrolls or something? That place isn't on the map either. Neither are any of the Tanada clan hideouts. So you just have to go off the wiki pretty much entirely with those. Except I figured out after some Googling that there actually is a more up-to-date Go Arrow map that you can download. And so I did that. And now I actually have all those locations on my map. Like, let's see, it's by Baishi. Here it is. Yeah, Chamber of Scrolls, that's it. And that's a place we'll be going to pretty soon here, because it's a good daily. That's like 100 mil for, I don't know, 10 minutes of running through and shooting scroll holders. There's literally like almost zero threat of dying. And yet, as I said, 100 million XP, easy. We'll also need to get some snow lilies. We have a lot of things to do. I mean, it's dailies. We'll always have more dailies to be doing. I just ran past the thing. I always run past that specific turn. I don't know why. But luckily, I only ever run that far past it, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't familiar anymore. I need to turn around. I went the wrong way. Oh gosh, that firebolt just, ow, scary. Speak of the devil, and he shall throw a firebolt at you. That's what the saying is, right? Really? Impenetrability is running off right now? Man, we gotta move quick. Keep the hand over the Aphislassal portal gem and pray. Ow. Sir, can you... Sir, please, can you move? Thank you. Now, hopefully they're far enough behind that the safe spot works. It does. Okay, yeah, this is the safe spot where I always heal. Right here. I'm just gonna use a Dispel so I can not have Gossamer Flesh and not get one-shot by a Firebolt because of the Firebolt. Maybe I don't think they have firebolts past this point, actually. Through here, down here. And we're gonna need to switch to our present. Yeah, we're kind of past the dangerous area. Luckily, the frost golems are the scary ones, and the iron golems are also scary, but really only for their firebolts. Their melee is not too horribly impressive. Alright, let's see if my magic's, like my life magic, wants to actually cooperate today. Really, guys? You know how hard it is for me to heal when I have my wand out? Not that hard, actually. And actually, my life magic cooperated flawlessly today. Perfect. Yeah, and so for tougher enemies like this, I gotta, Vulnum and use the armor rend bow. It's a little bit of a hassle, but these things take like 30 arrows to kill otherwise, even with crits mixed in there, so... Yeah, no. You just gotta do what you gotta do to actually kill them in any semblance of good time. And these three usually drop the gem. Nope. Okay, unfortunate. We were lucky with our debuffing, not lucky with the drop rate. Because it's a 33% drop chance, approximately. So out of 3 mobs, you would think you would get 3 chances and thus a guaranteed drop, but statistics don't always work out like they do on paper. See, there goes the life magic. Okay. I'm glad these things don't have high life magic resistance. Earlier, I was trying to kill these, the Ulthoi at the bottom of the Cavernous Ulthoi Chasm. And those things have such high life magic resist, and they're way too tanky to just be taken out by my regular arrows. So, it was really sucky. They would literally resist like 10 spells in a row. There it is, okay. I wonder what the percentage chance is that you kill every single one of those obsidian golems down there and not find the stone. Pretty low. Probably like less than 0.1%, I would assume. But you never know. It could happen. That'd be really sad. Very nice, Timurus. Alright, these guys aren't a huge issue. I don't think I've ever died in this portion of the dungeon before, so... Not too worried, but... You never know. You never know what's gonna happen when you're streaming, because the game really likes to just laugh in your face when you're streaming it. Make you look like an idiot, and kill you like 50 times. So I'm working at quite the disadvantage here, you know? Because the game, it just has it out for me. But I'm sure we're fine. Alright, we'll just use one of these to get out, because I don't feel like putting any effort or risk into it on today. Okay. Now we should do, after turning this in, we should do the Asheron's Raiment quest. It's a good quest. Very good quest. Good XP. Kind of scary at the end, though. I definitely need to rebuff. But all but the Baishi dungeons in there should be pretty much a given. So, refill that. Give this guy this crystal. Here you go. Give me my XP. Thank you. 200 mil. That almost leveled us. Very nice. Now, Nanto. That's it. That's the first. It goes Nanto, and then Kayaban, and then Uziz, and then Baishi. So that is what we shall do. But I need a buff right outside this dungeon. I cannot forget it, or else I'm probably gonna die. Not in this dungeon. This one would be fine. Why am I putting that on? I do need to put that on eventually, but just I need a buff. My brain is working 2 steps ahead, which leaves me 1 step behind. And then some mana conversion, because as you can tell, my mana conversion is not great. And time for boofs. Did that just take all my mana? Bruh. Come on. Why do you do this to me? I just want to buff. Luckily I have life magic on this character so I can actually stamina to mana, but still. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely a bit laggier with the stream going, which is a bit odd. It's probably because I'm streaming at the higher bit rate. Because I was gonna say I don't think I've ever had lag on Levistras with the streaming before, but I am streaming an extra 4,000 kilobytes a second on YouTube than I was on Twitch, so that probably would make it a little bit laggier, wouldn't it? Matron. Just destroy her. Luckily the matron is pretty easy no matter what level thing you're in. Although it's kind of more of a... Oh yeah, you can never do the jump looting on her. I don't know why. Like, where is your actual corpse? I don't know. Okay. Then... Allegiance Hometown, do the jump, combat. There we go. Yo, the jump combat stance thing is so useful. I used to not be able to Allegiance Hometown or Lifestone without being, like, almost killed every time. But ever since I learned that little trick, it gets me out of pretty much any situation while keeping my weapon's melee defense bonus in play. It's so very nice. Now, Kayaban. About here. And then salvage you with you. Thank you. Go this way. Then we'll get all 4 of these, and that'll be great for our leveling. Because I think, yeah, we'll definitely level from this whole thing. Probably not twice. We already did Ulthoi Chasm, so we can't do that again. We might do Sword of Beleness after this. It's also a good one. And then I might do Moorsman. I actually don't know how many people do the Moorsman quests. I might be like the only person that regularly goes in and does them. Because they are a little awkward to do, and you have to do a lot of parkouring. But at the same time, they give so much XP at this level. At least the Eastwatch one does. The rest... Let me loot, please. Thank you. The rest are kind of iffy, but... You know, it's good enough XP to warrant doing. Ooh, and then we could do the Sawado Extortion. And what other dailies do I have? We have a lot of dailies. Chamber of Scrolls. Yes, I should remember to do that right after I'm done with arraignment. Because if I don't do that, I'm probably gonna forget it. And it's an easy 100 mil. So easy. I could do Eater Jaws. I usually don't do the Eater Jaws though. So I always think, hey, Eater Jaws are a thing, you know? You got the pincers, you got the tusks, you got the jaws. I do the pincers and tusks. I don't do the jaws. Ooh, this one might actually be dead when I get there. That would be effective. Wow, somebody just mowed through these guys. My guess, possibly high level two-handed character, just came through and wiped out. No, mage. Well, there's two of them. All right then. I'll just wait for them to be done then. Yep, two-handed character. See what I'm saying? High level two-handed character. So there's plenty of the item for everyone, so I'll just wait for them to do their thing, and then I'll go in and grab it. Okay, they're still using it, so we'll wait for them to teleport out of here. That's a nice two-handed weapon. Can I need to condiment handle? Ooh, that's not bad. Blood rend too. I need to get around to rending some things. You know, Allegiance Hometown is superior in every way to Lifestoning. You know why? Because it doesn't take health, stamina, or mana to teleport. Because Lifestoning takes half of your mana pool. Especially as a mage, that's an issue. Something else takes half of your stamina. I think attuning to a Lifestone takes half your stamina. But teleporting back to Allegiance Hometown? It's free. Takes nothing. Alright. Oh, we don't need to be following them. I just saw them, I was just like, I know where they're going. But no, they're not going to the third one, it looks like. Or fourth one? The last one. Whatever number that is. Which is right over on the other side of town. Oh, Baishi is back to normal. It's kind of sad. It means the Christmas event has ended. During Christmas, there were these giant piles of snow and a bunch of presents around here, and you could turn in lost presents from around the wilderness areas and get XP and luminance gems for them, which were super effective. That's how I leveled up my tinkering character so fast, is I just gave them like... Rip. I just gave them like 50 of the freaking XP gems, and they're 30 million XP each. And so they just boosted all the way up to like level 100. Which is good, because I wasn't really planning on making the tinkering character all that effective from an early level. Alright, just keep selected on the matron, please. Let's kind of get into the corner here. Where are you going, matron lady? I should have switched to my singularity bow for these guys, because it has a higher melee defense modifier. Okay, let's just heal up just in case. This one's always a little scary. Slash AH, jump, attack mode, not dead. Okay, good. It was a close one. Not that close. We took barely any damage, but you know, it's always scary. It's a scary situation. Because you're out of attack mode for like a few seconds, and you never know how much damage those monstrosities are going to be able to dish out in that time. Okay, now to Arwick. To turn all these in. Can I put these in here? I can. Alright. Let's see. Arwick, yes. My brain was doing that thing again where it was like, where am I going? Which way is up? What was the quest again? I don't know. But no, it's Arwick. I just said it like 2 seconds ago. But when you enter in there, it's like a deer in headlights. You just have so many portals and so many quests that you could go do that you just stop thinking. You're just like, what? Too many portals. So yeah, it's difficult with them town networks. As you can see, I got plenty of mana stones, which is good. This one's used up. Let's fill it up there. Good. Nice. I have it currently only using greater mana stones so that I can use them up because I'm finding enough major mana stones to only have them now. Now this person takes forever to talk, but it's worth it because yeah, that was 5 mil, then 15 mil, then almost 50 mil, and then the big one, 120 mil. Yeah, that it leveled us from earlier, which was only a little bit, and then it got us almost like a third of this level. That's insane. Okay. Let's go back to Allegiance Hometown so we can sell these raiments, because I don't need them. Currently, I don't have very good clothing right now, but this has Epic Endurance, which is nice. And this has Major Focus, which I didn't have a Focus cantrip because this armor hates Focus for some reason. I think the Focus is the necklace, but I can't have the necklace because I need Life Giver, because 15 free health points is just too good to pass up, really. Okay, we're good on selling. We have enough money. We do not have enough money to buy a thing yet. We could go turn this in. You know, you always gotta be thinking about how you can clear your bags between quests. Oh, not the ground. Hey, I remember my first red letter. I do not. I do not remember my first red letter. That was a long time ago. Why are you not stacking with nothing? Okay, I guess you're just your own stack. You do you. And we get low stakes gambling tokens. They're not that profitable usually. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, never mind. A D note, which is 50,000 pyreals, and one of these, which I just learned recently. You know, it's probably going to sound really dumb, because I've played this game my entire life, but I'm still learning so many new things about it. Like these trinkets can be turned into the Agent of the Arcanum for Writs of Refuge. Infinite writs. You never have to do the minor Atlan Stones quests again. You just do that. Anytime you find random notes, you just turn them in. You get either the, what is it, the antique clock or compass or something, the whatever it is, the little compass thing, or those trinkets, and they're all just a free writ, each one, and that's amazing. So, is the game a little laggy for anyone else? It is. I thought it was just me. Maybe it isn't my internet. Maybe it's actually just the, you know, the server itself is a little laggy. Because yeah, I've been having significant lag today. Though you probably can't really tell. It's hard to tell. But anytime you'll notice the characters running at full speed and then they'll slow down by like, I don't know, up to 10% or so. And that's how you know it's lagging. Or if you rubber band. I don't think I've ever rubber banded on the server, though. On the live servers, back when the game was alive, you would rubber band all the time. It was so much more laggy than the emulators are. So that is one good thing. I think that's just population, though. The main servers had hundreds, if not thousands, of players consecutively online, or concurrently. Yeah, concurrently would be the word. This, I think, I've seen like up to 50, maybe 60 people online at once, which is still huge for Asheron's Call emulator right now, especially a non-botting one, because like I think the top servers have a few hundred people online sometimes, but probably 90% of those aren't like all there. They're mostly people that are running like 10 accounts and all macroing. So you end up still struggling to find people for like quests and trading and stuff because nobody's actually there. But on Levistras, if you see 50 people online, that's 50 people running quests, doing dailies, trading, all sorts of cool stuff. Just all over the place. It's really quite active. So I'm quite happy about that. And you will see a lot of people in chat. I have a little general chat window here. So right now it's a little bit empty, surprisingly, but why am I out of attack mode? I'm just running in here, just like, these guys don't scare me. I don't need to be in attack mode. I mean, I probably don't. Pretty low level compared to me, but, you know, still. Not gonna be a fool. Especially when I'm streaming. As I said, when you're streaming, the game tries to kill you. And I can't be letting it have that kind of an advantage. Oh, great. Vulns, my favorite. Okay, so this quest is easy. Quite easy. You just go in here, and then you put on your present, and you run over this way to approximately here or so, to the point that your arrows won't be bonking the top there. Then you gotta debuff this. There we go. How did I get a surge from debuffing? It's happened once or twice, but it's always funny when it happens. And then you just shoot it for 1,000 damage, 1,000 damage, 1,000 damage, and you just wait until you get a crit to one-shot it, or you just slowly there it goes. Okay, and then I always forget to go out of attack mode for this, but you need to run by, pick up the item, which takes forever in attack mode, and then jump through. And you know what? I think that sequence was so enjoyable, we get to do it again. Because look at this. Deja vu. There's another resonator. And it requires more debuffing. Who would have guessed? So yeah, not the most fun quest, but certainly not bad. And it's quick. Gives a lot of XP. There we go. Go out of attack mode, pick up a scroll. Don't you guys be debuffing me, oh my gosh. Debuff you again. Debuff you again. Ooh, we could do a Manuga laboratory as well. That's a good quest. Another 100 mil. Or so. I could try the higher level variant. I've only done the mid-level one. And then you go through here, and then I think I just Allegiance Hometown from here. Excuse you, Manugas. They heard I was gonna go check out the laboratory, and they just can't be having that. This guy's doing a little dance over here. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he kept running too close to do melee combat, so he backs up a step, but then the step back, because of the elevation difference, made him out of comfortable melee range, so he tried to run forward again. I don't know. Well, that was kind of crazy. Let's see. Hebian. Now I just sound like a... What is it? Like an Egyptian villager from Age mythology? Or is it... I don't know. I can't remember what voice line from which game that sounded like for a second. But I'm probably just speaking nonsense to like 90% of the people that would be hearing it. So, you know, it's fine. I'm gonna go talk to this guy, and he gives us a buttload of XP. Yeah, 100k XP, and then, or 100 mil. It was 100k, this would be a sucky quest. Then you give this back to her, and she gives you another 16 mil. So that is very nice. Well, let's see. What quest did I say I was gonna do after that? I don't remember. So we did Cavernous Holy Chasm. We did Tusker Tusks. We did Chamber of Scrolls. We did the Glendenwood Crystal Quest. We did Asheron's Raiment. It's a lot of them. Sword of Beleness. That's one that we need to do. Okay. Yeah, that's another 100 mil. And then I also need to do the one up here, the Squalid Shield quest at this camp, which is also, I always go from Cillian to here and then run this way and get 3 snow lilies, which is very dangerous at this point. I am not high enough level to be able to like consistently kill those enemies that come out of the... I mean, I can do it consistently, but they hurt. They're dangerous. Even though I have maxed out melee defense, they're scary. Not to mention the risk of uber penguins. I mean, don't even get me started on those. Ugh. They are the... Okay, not the bane of my existence. They are scary, and I hate them. But wisps are the bane of my existence. They are like the culmination of everything I hate in an enemy. You know? They constantly cast spells, so you can't run past them. They have a hitbox that is comically large. They're hard to click on or even see because sometimes they're just so, like the black wisps, they just blend into the background so well. So you can barely see them, you can't run past them 90% of the time. The only saving grace is that they are very weak to physical damage types. So if you have any kind of a slashing weapon, you just tear through them. But aside from that, it's just they're just depressing, and I hate them. And they just spam spells at you, and if you get like 10 of them on you, then you're just kind of dead if you're anywhere near their level. Because how are you supposed to deal with 10 spell spamming enemies that you can't run past? You're just going to be sitting there spam healing yourself until you die. Like, there's just nothing you can do about it. So, I hate wisps. I hate them with a passion. And that passion was rekindled lately as my main character, even with magic absorbing on his shield, still ended up dying to a giant group of wisps because I couldn't move anywhere and I was just getting pummeled by spell after spell after vuln after spell. It was horrible. So, yeah, after that I went in and just one by one took them out instead of trying to run past them. Because that's how you get a bunch on you, is by trying to run past the wisps and then getting caught in like a diagonal corridor, and then one of them that was actually moving to chase you ends up getting behind you and then casting a spell so you can't move back either. Then they all crowd around you and just start hammering you with things. It's horrible. But alright, Sword of Beleness. This is another one of the places I wish had a thing on the map, but for some reason, it do not. So, and we'll find our way through it, but And I know where it is. I very much memorized its above ground location. But, you know, it'd be nice to just be able to set the go arrow and go towards it. It's a lot more convenient than just, it's right above this green thing on the map. Let's go there. So you need to put thought into it. Nobody wants to do that when they're doing their dailies. Should be seamless and absolutely brain dead, you know? At least I do dailies so much that they end up that way either way. Alright, now we kill these two because they always get in our way. My buffs haven't run out, right? Nope, we're still good for the moment. Alright. Now we need to get our present. Look around the corner at you. Debuff you. Never mind, you resisted. Why am I moving in odd directions? Eaters, stay there. Please. No, okay. There we go. Shoot him in the face. He's one shot, okay. Two shot technically, but you know. First shot didn't count. Let's see if we can survive teleporting out with these guys and without having to deal with these guys. Because I don't want it. It'd be annoying to kill them, you know? Alright, easy 100k almost from this. And we still have a Moorsman. We still have Sawato Extortion. We probably still have some others that I can't think of right now. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this and this. Thank you. Yeah, so about 84 mil. Extortion next, I guess. The extortion's kind of annoying because the enemies in there are strong enough that usually I need to debuff them all. You need to go 15 of them. Where's that? Sawato, that's in show. The name of the place I'm going is literally in the quest name. And I still was like, where am I going? That's like if you were sitting there trying to really ponder as to where you start the defensive Zykal quest. It's like, I wonder. Why is there just a sword sticking up out of this? That doesn't look right. Alright, you know, it's whatever. Alright, and he tells us to F off, essentially. Gives us a little mask thing. The mask goes to the unfriendly barkeeper up here. Let's go do that. Quick jaunt that way. We should try to spend our XP in the meantime. I don't know what on, though. I do have some things I need to catch up on, like health, for sure. Because, you know, the more health you have, the harder it is for things to one-shot you. And that's good. That's very nice. So yeah, we'll just boost up our endurance a ton. And endurance divided by 2. So this should be double the cost of endurance, which we cannot do. But we can get it close. See, 362. That's a big boost. That's like 20 extra health. That means that I have 20 more of a buffer before an enemy can one-shot me with a, you know, vuln and a spell. Which always happens. And I hate it. Why do they always do that? Alright, we talked to the barkeeper. I actually don't know what starts this quest. Is it talking to the guy in town, or is it talking to the barkeeper? I should try to do it out of order sometime, because I keep getting all these masks. And I don't know what to do with them after the quest is done. You know, I usually just either give them to a town crier or obliterate them with a mana stone. But if I could just, like, keep one in my inventory to be able to do this quest, if him reacting to the mask is the thing that starts the quest, then, you know. Ooh, you could do the cow tipping quest here. Actually, wait, this place has, like, a level 100 and something requirement, doesn't it? So that would be kind of stupid to go all the way up here at this level and be like, yeah, cow quest. Now, I did up my life magic recently. Hopefully that allows us to do this pretty seamlessly. Resisted. Resisted, yeah. As I said, some enemies just have really high life magic resist. Okay, good sir. I also need to put my hat back on. Don't mind me. Okay. Just get the debuff. Thank you. Ah, okay. Now you're not wanting the other debuff. Come on. Come on. I still need to debuff you and your buddy. Okay, and we need one of these. Don't have enough mana for the spell. Suck it up. Do it anyway. You know, be like an anime character. Push past your limit. You know, we totally need an Asheron's Call anime. Where, like, main character runs out of mana, but keeps trying to cast the spell because he wants to push past his limit. There's all the anime things. Why am I debuffing you? Haven't I debuffed you before? Yeah, you're the first sword guy. I meant to click you. Hate these guys. I can kill them without all this. It just takes a lot of arrows. And it's a little dangerous. These guys hit hard. I guess they don't really hit hard, they just hit a lot. Okay, you know what? If this doesn't land, it's good enough for me. It's fine. But you see, with the debuffs, they get obliterated. This guy only has Gossamer Flesh, so my crits hit for about as much as the hits do with the full debuffs. So it is a bit unfortunate. But that's 3 out of 15. Let's attempt again, just no debuffs, just slashing them in the face. Oh gosh. These guys with crossbows do so much damage. I don't know why. What crossbow do you have? A hollow one. That explains it. Because I have gotten hit, not crit, but hit for 90 damage by one of those crossbows. Luckily, they just put them away after a while, so you don't really have to worry about it too much, but you see how long it takes to kill these guys? Not as long as it takes to actually land a debuff on them. But you see how long that was? That was a long time. I just gotta do that another 11 times. Hello. You usually have a crossbow. Okay. You know, luckily on this character, I recently got the burden bearing ability augmentation. Just recently. And that helps a lot. Because I was having a ton of burden issues, given that I need to carry, you know, rations and arrows and bows and armor and mana stones and all that. So I was quite quickly running out of not bag space, but like burden space. And it was sucky. So I went and I got the augment, and now I haven't had any issues of that variety in a while. Because as you can see, we're pretty much fully stocked on everything I want, and we're still only at 76% burden. So that's with 500 arrows left. Even at 1,000 arrows, it's not bad. Gotta be careful for the next room over because they don't have any door on them. But that's fine. Alright, back up to here, kill these two. Surge of Regeneration is barely keeping us afloat here. Could be, you know, pulling a lot more weight, but we're not gonna be picky. Yeah, these guys just do a lot of damage. Especially the unarmed ones. You know, I mean, they do less damage than when they've got a ranged weapon, but still, they hurt when they just punch you in the face like that. And I don't much appreciate it. Get back, yeah. I think I can also do the Tanada House of Blackfire. Blackwater? Black something? It's the last of the Tanada House quests. And that one gives a good amount of XP, but I know the Chamber of Scrolls also happens after that, so I don't know if that's the last one that I'm thinking of, or if it's a different one. I don't know, I haven't done that one as a daily before. Only as a thing I do when I need to unlock the Chamber of Scrolls one, which I have been doing as a daily, but only recently. That one's one of the ones that I figured out lately that it's actually really strong. Okay, now this guy sucks. Okay. But here's the plan. We debuff him eventually, you know. Have patience, it'll work eventually. And then we go in there and absolutely blitz the heck out of him. Because I don't think I can shoot through this thing. I think it kind of counts as a full object. Because this guy's the only one we need to kill. Let me get his ledger. And then we can't really actually leave here. Okay, sure, you can fight me back here. What the heck? Here, let me get... Okay. His buddy's actually, like, fully stuck. So, you know, that guy's just gonna spend the rest of his life stuck in that, you know, Asian-style divider. It's fine. I'm sure he'll find happiness over there. Alright. Salvage this. This is gonna finish the bag. Nope. 96%. Of course it is. I go back to Sawato and turn it in. Can I turn this back into him? Does that give XP? Probably not. Because you could just like pick up the quest and then hand this back in indefinitely and just get infinite XP. So that wouldn't work. But I usually just end up smashing it, so. And let's see, glowy thing on you. Anything we want? Vigor, destruction. Eh. And it's a level 1. Level 1s usually aren't worth keeping. We've got better things. And luckily the, hey, that leveled us. You open this. Grab all these. Be like, hey, loser, I just stole all your loot. Now take it back, because I hate it. And he gives you the XP for it. Very nice. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Where are we going next? What are we doing next? We could do Old Boy Pincers. We could do Moorsman. That's about it, I think. We've done most everything else. Let's do the Moorsman. Which Moorsmans do I do? I think I go from Danby's Outpost forward. So let's go there, because yeah, it's Danby's Outpost, and then Beach Fort, and then Ironbacher, and then East Watch. Those are the ones that we do. And I think the egg is worth getting from Danby's Outpost forward. At least at this level. Devour. Give me your scroll! Dang it. Those Devours, in case you did not know, those Devours have a 1 in 1,000 chance, I'm pretty sure, to drop a scroll. And that scroll gives you the recall to Ulgrim's Island, I think. Which is completely useless, I think. I don't think that's actually going to help me in any appreciable way. Can I loot him, please? Okay, he's not the guy. But, you know, I love collecting recall spells. I haven't really started on this character doing that. But it's my favorite hobby in Asheron's Call. Is just collect every recall you can get so you can go pretty much anywhere you need to a lot faster. And yet, that is the one recall spell that has eluded me forever. I've never gotten it. Even though I literally go out of my way to kill every single one of those dang reed sharks every single time I see them. And they're like bright red. I see them a lot. I've probably killed like 200 of those things, but in the face of 1 in 1,000 odds. Wait, we don't want to go in the portal. I want to go this way first. I remember. Because if we go in the portal right now, then we'll need to go and dedicatedly come back to Danby's Outpost at a later date to turn in the egg. I usually go and turn in the egg first, and then run back and go in the portal. Just because, you know, while I'm here, it's easiest just to get it done. The notable exceptions for that are Eastwatch and Ironbecker. But Danby's Outpost and Beach Fort, you can... The NPCs are close enough that you can just kind of run over and turn them in. Got more emerald, I see. We have emerald coming out the wazoo. I don't know why emerald is so common compared to every other gem in the game. But you get so much of it. I get maybe the devs just really liked acid rending. Because, you know, I'm pretty sure I have like 2 finished bags of emerald and like 0 finished bags of jet. Even though that's one of the more common ones as well, I guess. I don't know. But it's definitely white sapphire and emerald seem to have disproportionately high. Same with black opal. You can find a lot of things made out of black opal. But I don't know, it's weird. But you know how epic it would have been if I had found that 1 in 1,000 scroll on stream off of the first Devourer I kill on stream today? That would have been so good. I would have loved that. I would have been like, you know, would have clipped it. That would have been like my favorite clip from any stream ever. And I would have been so happy. But, you know, it is what it is. Just like how I've never found a rare piece of armor or weapon, even though I've played the game my entire life and macroed for a lot of it. You know, the entire time I was playing on retail when it was live, I was one of them people that macroed. And so it's like, even through all those macros, and then I played on Reef Cull for several years, macroing there. So it's like, you know, how is it that through all that time, I haven't found a single, not a single rare of a higher quality or a higher rarity? How does that work? Why does the game hate me so much? Like, have I not given enough to you, game? Have I not played you enough? And there are people that will have entire sets of this gear. Now, I assume that they probably have a lot of MMDs, and they probably bought a lot of the pieces of the set. Like, they found maybe 1 or 2 pieces and then bought the rest of them through other people, because there's no way that one person would independently find all like 5 or 6 pieces of an armor set from rare items, where I have not found a single one in my entire life. So it is statistically impossible that one person would have found all that. It must have been that there were so many people playing when the game was live that they were dropping all over the place, and somebody managed to get enough money to be able to buy the pieces off of other people. But, you know, I don't have that kind of money. I mean, honestly, I am kind of rich on this character. I have 200 MMDs, but still, as compared to what some things cost in this, that's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. Because, yeah, I think I saw somebody selling, like, foolproof salvage for, like, 700 MMDs or something. And it's like, I don't have that kind of money. I want foolproof salvage. It's nice. It's good salvage. Okay, where are we going next? Beach Fort. That's it. That takes us going to Maoi, and then to Lady Myla Estates, and then we're there. We did this run earlier to get the Sword of Beleness, but I didn't do the thing at the same time because I didn't want to. But this egg we can turn in before going in the portal, if I remember. And that'll be great. We can go in and get the note, and it's pretty much the same dungeon every time. So getting the note is just a matter of getting to the end of the dungeon without missing a jump. And if you do miss a jump, then you basically just die. I mean, not like in the game, you just die inside. You know, your soul just crumples up into a ball and gets thrown into the incinerator. Because you know, you have to like run through 50 Moorsmen, and probably more than 50 actually, depending on where you fall. And you keep getting caught on them, and there's like dozens of rooms you gotta go through, and take like 6 minutes or something to get back. It's annoying, and then everything's out of position. You know how to pretty regularly get through the dungeon if everything's at their correct position, but they're all out of whack because you fell. and they were aggroed on you and they haven't reset, and so it's a whole mess. So falling in that dungeon is one of the more irritating things that can happen in the dailies. Aside from, you know, dying. Because dying is pretty irritating as well. Not a fan of it. Okay, we're almost there. How are our buffs doing? I don't think I can tell here, no. That's usually with armor buffs. They always sneak up. Hey, look, we're out of armor buffs. As I was saying, they always sneak up on you. You don't really always realize that, hey, I'm out of buffs because you can't see a timer on them. I mean, these guys shouldn't be too big an issue, but before we go to the next place, we should really buff up again. Dang wisp. Always do that. There's like one wisp sitting outside the place that just spams debuffs at you while you're in here. And this thing doesn't do as much damage. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled bowgram. Does damage just a little bit more consistently. Without having to debuff, of course. If you're debuffing, then the armor end is way better. Pick up the thing. Thank you. Major mana stones. Probably don't need more of those. I have so many. Oh, but I could collect some for my two-hander character. Because that's kind of the issue of being low level, is you have no good mana stones. Excuse me, good sir. Can you please move? I do say. How very rude of you. Okay. We gotta go turn this egg in, and then we go back to the portal. I almost forgot. I almost just jumped into the portal on muscle memory. Which would have been bad. Can I jump over this wall? Let's see. I think so. Yeah. Who needs doors anyway? Just jump in the roof. 12 mil. Not a lot. Later eggs give more. Like, I think the Eastwatch egg gives like, what, 30, 40 mil? So that's worthwhile. And then the note gives, I think, 80 mil from Eastwatch. Maybe more? 100 mil? Somewhere around there. Maybe I should just do the Ironbecker and Eastwatch ones. I mean, we're starting to get to the point that the amount of XP we've gotten from the eggs, and probably even from the notes around here, are just kind of... What's the word? Not inconvenient. Not an excuse. It's an in-word. Ineffective? Insufficient? Oh, it's not in-word. It's, no, I think it is. I just thought irrelevant, but no, that's not right either. You know what I'm saying. It's not enough to be warranting the amount of time that I'm putting into it. 'Cause it's irreparable. It's illuminated. I don't know. My brain thinks there's an I word that works for that, and yet it's just not coming to mind. I have no idea why. You know when you get that word just stuck on the tip of your brain and you cannot pull it out no matter how hard you try? And the harder you try, the further from the word you get. Inconsequential? That might be it. It is definitely a word for the situation. Yeah, definitely Inconsequential was what I was thinking of. That's a tough word to think of, though. I don't know why. Alright, we just obliterate this guy from our range, because he can literally do no harm to us. Because, you know, the weird thing about these guys, I think they're bugged. Because they only ever shoot level 1 war spells. And I think it's only ever Shockwave. So I don't know why they do that. We'll go to Lifestone. Because that's Iron Becker. We're heading there for our next thing. I don't know why they have no other, you know, spells. Because they debuff you. As you can see, Piercing, Vuln, other 6. They have level 6 debuffs. But then they're just like, haha, now that I have made you weak to my spells, I shall cast Shockwave 1. That's like 5 damage even with the Vuln. Like, bro, what are you doing? You're literally high enough level to do so much more damage through your spells, and yet you just don't. Oh, but we took all our mana. Oh, but that actually didn't take mana. Good. Sometimes mana conversion comes in clutch. Sometimes it leaves you to burn. That's just how the world works, sadly. It's really too expensive to warrant putting more points into mana or stealth or mana conversion. Look at that. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. We're buffed. We're beefy. I should have this one on. Crystal moiety. It's a moiety crystal. Die so I can increase my collection of crystal shards. Dang it. I should have jumped further. This is gonna hurt. Not that much. Okay. Profane. Wait, what are the... Oh, I don't have the page up right now because I don't have my browser up. Also, why did I sound like Toby Determined for a second there? I don't have my browser up. Let's see. Asheron's Cal Heritage Masks. Because I want to get all the heritage masks. I just got this little, you know, inclination that I was like, I want to get all the heritage masks and put them up in my house. And I know you can get them from Verindi heads. I just don't have memorized which ones are required for that. Let's see. Verindi Consort Mask is one of them. Heritage Masks. Let's see. Okay. Regular Verindi Mask. Don't know where I get that from. But yeah. Inquisitor Prophetrix. You're profane, so no. Sad. Okay. Well, I'm still gonna kill you. I was gonna kill you either way. I just wanted to see if your head was actually useful for anything. You know, it might drop a yellow jewel or something, you know, some kind of a gem. But no, he just dropped an emerald. Once again, emeralds, they're everywhere. They're what's for dinner, apparently. I don't know, emeralds. Just, we're literally swimming in them. Okay, we just buffed, so that's good. Then we spent like the first 3 minutes of having buffs just looking up mask things, so that's great. I'm glad that I am so great and efficient at looking things up, because obviously that was a worthwhile use of my buff timer. I don't have any of the buff timer extension upgrades yet. I really should get those. Those affect armor buffs, right? I would hope so. Because they don't show up here, so I can't actually check their timer as they go. But they're an item buff, and other item buffs are affected by it, so I would assume it would have to. It's just hard to know. I guess I'll just have to get the augmentation and check to see if my item buff or my armor buffs run out before the others. Draining my mana at Hooligan. Stop it. Wait, man, just stop. You just don't want me to have mana. What the heck? That's so rude. Sapphire. Not what I need. Hyreal. Wait, where's the key? I killed all the guys here. Any one of the guys on the stairs? Can't even see him, but you know. It's fine. There's the key. I was gonna check all the corpses again, but I was like, no, if one of them had the key, I would have noticed it. Not the power bar. Accuracy bar, as the case may be. Okay, then we can just jump straight in here because, you know, we're not running all the way back to Ironbecker to turn in an egg. We'll just wait on that. Now let's just autopilot our way through. This one's a little harder to autopilot. Let's see, gotta go put these down here. I'm gonna send some of these to my two-hander later. Because yeah, being low level and not having any good mana stones is just the worst. Because then everything is just running out of mana and you can't do anything about it except this freaking 15% efficiency stone that you picked off of some drudge. And it's like, oh yeah, you just destroyed an entire item and now you can infuse like 25 mana into your stuff. It's like, okay, thanks. That helps a lot. Whereas these ones is just like, where's the, yeah, there it is. This was just like, ah, yeah, you want 15,000 mana? Enough to fill up an entire suit of equipment and weapons and trinkets and everything? Ah, no problem, I can do that, and probably not even break after. It's just high-level mana stones are so good. Oh, but now we are getting to the point where it's an issue that I have no mana. Dang wisp. You see why I hate wisps? They're the worst. They're worse than the worst. They're the worster worst. Alright, hit this guy with one of these. Actually hit this guy with one of these. Thank you. I really need to level my life magic more. Oh no, oh goodness gracious, 7 points of damage with Shockwave 1. Oh, whatever will I do? Oh goodness. Yeah, this guy's gotta be stopped. He's a madman. Oh, I mean, I guess I stopped him. That was easy enough. Alright. Now we go... We can go back to Lifestone so we can turn in this egg. Dang it. Why can't you move things while you're Lifestoning? It's rude. One time I started Lifestoning and then realized that I didn't want to Lifestone right then. So I tried to stop it, but I was in that little storage room in my villa and I couldn't move far enough to cancel the Lifestone, and I was in the middle of Lifestoning, so I couldn't stop. I couldn't like open the door. So I was just trapped there until it was done, and it was kind of excruciating. But hilarious. But excruciating. So, you know, it was fun. Now I got one more, and it's the scary one. Not that scary. Well, the place itself is not that scary. The uber penguins between the town and the place, that's what's scary. I should check the chest down here. Ooh, and the quest. Do you have your quest back up? I don't think so. Yeah. I did that, or I turned in that quest, like, later last night. So... I can't get it. But I just skim through these every so often to see if someone put anything rended. Because I'm getting close to being able to rend my own stuff, but I can't quite do it yet. So, at least not efficiently. I need to wait another couple weeks, or another week or so, until my tinkering character is able to, you know, able to get more stipends so they can get an augmentation gem. Because once they get an aug gem, then I can do the thing where you get the plus 5% imbue chance, and then we'll be set. I'm gonna heal in case there's an uber penguin. I hate him. Like, why see uber penguin. Why do they have a level 220 out here mixed in with the heavy crossbows? I mean, the level, like, 100 to 130 enemies. I guess you're 185. 240. See? They're just getting higher level. Way higher than anything else out here. Like, nothing else is level 200 plus except uber penguins, and they hurt. What's even worse is they're fast. Oh. What's coming after me? Okay, we might need to just slaughter these losers. Might not be able to do with this. I need this. Or debuffs. Marginally better. We just need to wait for crits. I'm not gonna spend the time to debuff this guy. Especially because he's a mage, so he obviously has good magic defense. See, there's the crit. Get obliterated, loser. Alright, Ancient Coral Golem. Oh, good. Great. Yeah, just debuff me. See if I can. Alright. A Tetsubo. Kinda crappy. Okay. Major Mana Stone. Okay. Now these, I wasn't playing. Oh, there's another one right there. I can get so many. What am I doing? One of these. One of these. Just gotta be ready for anything. And if I need to make a quick escape, we just jump over that wall. Because these guys, what are you? What are you doing? Why are you so close? You won't cause problems, right? Okay. Ow. Wrong button, but it worked anyway. You see how iffy this is? I do not like it. At least my healing kit is not close to breaking. That's always a good sign. Thrungus, I think, is the main issue. The Eaters hurt, but the Thrungus, I think, is the one that debuffs. Occasionally. But any of these guys have a good chance of dropping a Snow Lily, so... Get out of here, penguin. No one likes you. I mean, he's insolent. Who likes insolent things? I certainly don't. I don't think I need those. Alright, we'll grab that. Free money. Okay, that's 2. Dose. We need to eat more. Just be ready. I'm gonna use this here, and then I'm gonna run them over onto the land there, so I can see the freaking penguin. Because otherwise the penguin's under the water, and I just can't see it at all. No, you don't. I just had to freaking move my Dispel gem on my bar. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that. But I moved, not 7, 8, 8, 9. Dang fingers me in the wrong place. But yeah, I moved it up to this so it has a key binding now, when earlier it didn't. But that still makes it so now anytime I'm going to click it, which I'm more used to, it is in the wrong spot and I take a second to find it, which can get you killed. You know, if you're vulned for a second longer than you should be, then that is a time where it can just obliterate you. Hey, power regen. Okay. Could have used that a little bit ago. But yeah, better late than never, I guess. There's the third snow lily. And fourth. Okay. Well, we only need 3, so that is a plus. Can we jump over this? Ooh, just barely. Okay. Because the water means that I'm at like a slightly lower elevation to be able to jump over things. Alright, come down here into our favorite corner. Kill all of you. And we get the key, and then we unlock the chest, and then we get the egg, and then we go into the portal, and then we get the note. After all the parkour. Then there was something else, wasn't there? Ovoid pincers. That was the last one. Pincers and notes. Which the pincers are good, not because they give good XP at this level, because they don't. That's not the right key, but I'll take it. That's the right key. Or emerald. You see what I mean? You see what I'm talking about? So many emeralds. Out of my way. Thank you. There's some cool looking Covenant armor. Green. I need to start collecting armor for its looks. I need bright yellow Covenant armor, so I'll need to like remember to actually pick stuff up for it. I need bright yellow Covenant armor. Like, I want everything to be Covenant. I like the look of Covenant. Covenant armor looks cool. But yeah, bright yellow Covenant armor for sure. And then other things. I don't know. Because the yellow that you can dye on the Covenant is not that bright. The loot generated, I think, is a lot brighter. And I kind of want something that looks kind of like the Royal Guards in the towns. You know, the Strathalar guys or whatever. Because they have some real yellow stuff going on. Then I need silver. So, like, I think the white, like, dyed white Covenant armor could be sufficient for silver, but I'm not certain. I would need to, like, see it in-game. But I know there are lighter shades of white and silver that are available through the loot-generated colors. And that's what I want. But that means I need to find them, naturally. And that's difficult. Snap lagging. Lorfney. Not Lorfney the Unhinged. Whatever will he do? Oh no! 13 damage! Ugh. I don't know how I'll ever recover from this. I'm sure I shall be in the hospital recovering for weeks. What a fiend. Yeah, they really need to fix that. I don't know if it's even something on their radar at all, as something that needs to be fixed. I don't think I've ever mentioned it as a bug. And I'm pretty sure multiple servers have it. That might even be how it is in, or how it was in the base game, and they just never fixed it. But it seems really broken that they don't actually cast dangerous spells. And it's not that important. It's not like they're that dangerous, even with higher level spells, but still. It's the principle of the matter. It's like, if I'm gonna be fighting an enemy... Did I pick up his note? Oh yeah, I only did the last notes. I was worried because I was like, I usually have like 6 of these, but no. And I already turned in the other egg. Yeah, it is this way. You go to Eastvach. Turn in the egg. Then go to Mayoy, turn in these, and go to Cillian, and turn in these. Then I'll probably go do the Squalid Shield as well from Cillian, if there aren't any Uber Penguins at the drop, then I might need to take a different route, if so. Because they suck. Alright, got a little bit of XP from that. Now Cillian to get more. Let's see, Cillian's this way. And you know, all my dailies at this point don't actually give me that much XP comparative to how much it takes to level. But it is still pretty important. Where am I going? This way. Just because, first of all, it gets me trade notes out the wazoo. I mean, look at this. 8 C notes, 57 D notes, 12 DCCL notes, 58 M notes, 18 MD notes, 13 MM notes, and 212 MMD notes, which, to be fair, the MMDs I buy from other places as well, but... Oh yeah, and then I need to give you this last one. Get a free M note. Might as well charge these. Why have a bunch of random BS clogging up the bags? Okay, and we need to do one of these while I try to remember where I'm going next. I think it's the pincers? That was all we had left, right? Okay. Well, we can just go like this. So yeah, the pincers, once again, not much XP. It's still a notable amount from the later ones, but still not really doing it for the XP. You do it for the trade notes. Because having infinite money on hand, I mean, like infinite M notes, like I have here, very important for paying off the house. Because my house maintenance every month, I think, is just one of these M notes. And so, as long as I'm doing these dailies, I have infinite M notes to pay that off. And then D notes can be traded in just for, like, smaller things you need to buy, like carving tools or fletching equipment or whatever else you need to buy on a regular basis. It's very useful. I should probably get this, because I'm not going to be debuffing these losers. They're not worth it. What's this in here? Where am I going? Leaned a bit on the A key as I was moving things. Oh, I need to still turn these into Mayoi. Don't let me forget that. That would be very sad. Because that's like 90% of the reward from the Moorsman quest is from the notes, not the eggs. Oh, we have a writ of refuge from earlier. We'll need to do something about that. Put you down here with those. This is still filled up. I need to put those back into my house chest or go use them at some point. I need to save up a lot of XP too to get an augmentation. I want to get the reduces crits down to regular hits augmentation. I don't know how much that is. I think it might be 2 billion for that. Maybe higher. It's a really good augment, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 4 billion, but I hope it's not, because that would be expensive. You have the pincer, right? Yes. Okay, thank you. I'm out of here. One pincer down. Only like, let's see, 5 more pincers and 3 notes. And then we'll go turn in the other notes from the Moorsman place as well. And then we'll probably be done. Because I can't think of what else I would do. This is like all my dailies. I'm sure there's more dailies I could do, but realistically, am I gonna do them? Probably not. They're probably too much work. Like there's that one about like Hamud's dagger or what have you. It's the... I forget what it's called. Oswald's Dirk quest or something? I don't know. It's that one that's really old and has to do with the shadows, and you need to show the guy a, what is it, like a brass Gromny knuckle thing. And that starts the quest, so I could do that. It's just a bit of a long quest, and I don't think it's worth the amount of time you put into it. Unless you're just really bored. Because you're wanting to play longer and you just have no other quests to be doing. Alright, well we didn't find a small hive by the soldier portal, which is unfortunate. Usually we do. Okay, and then we'll head down here. Not to the hive eviscerator burrow. I'm still 37 levels away from being able to do that. Not to mention, do I want to do it even when I'm high enough level for it? I don't know. Let's get over to Breached Hive. We gotta really swing wide to the right, because on the left here there's a bunch of tentacle monsters. Not the fun kind. And they will debuff you with some ungodly spell that for like a minute just reduces your carry capacity by like 2 billion%. It's horrible. So you're just a full burden, just trudging along. And they laugh at you. Of course, you can kind of avoid it if you just never stop running, but still, it's annoying, and it's best to just kind of give them a wide berth so they don't have any chance to put that spell on you. So Breached Hive is for one of the notes. Still buffed up, right? Yes. Not for long, though. I suspect my buffs will run out pretty quick here. Still no small hive. There are some days where I end up not even managing to find a small hive among the other pincer routes, which is unfortunate. Especially because I think that's the note that gives the health potions, and those health potions are worth a lot of money. I think the amount that they give you is about 50,000 pyreals worth, which is like a full D note in just pure value from one note. So, no use this thing. We go get our last, well, not our last note. We still have 2 more notes. Many more pincers. We're nowhere near the end of the pincers. They take a while. But, you know, I like money. So, you know, we gotta keep doing them. Okay. We're back here. Now we can actually do the Legionary pincer. And then we'll head to the Eviscerator, where there's a note and a pincer. And then we'll head to the Mutilator, where there's just a pincer. Then we're going to head to the Warrior, which is just a pincer. And hopefully somewhere along there we find a small hive. Because if not, that is very sad. Although the notes only give like 5 million XP. So aside from the chunk of change that you get from the potion, the XP is kind of not really something we need. But every little bit is good. You know, it's nice that I'm getting my dailies done. I would probably be doing this off stream anyway. Just efficient to get it done on stream. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And I'm not doing anything too dangerous, so the game can't decide, hey, this guy's streaming, let's kill him horribly. Because it does that. And I don't like that it does that. Alright, now we run this way. You know, my main character has still not done on Ralarea. And I don't know why. Because I found some of those individuals on this character. Ooh, Barindi. Do you have masks for me? I desire your masks and possibly yellow/red/purple gems. What other colors are there? Is there a blue gem? I think it's a blue gem. Dirty iron key, not needed. See, white jewel, right there. Might be useful for something, eventually. I try to collect as many of those as I can, mainly because of slight trauma from the last time I tried to do Dark Isle flagging on my own server. And I didn't have a yellow jewel, and then I like farmed for 10 million years to find one. It took a long time. I think I actually streamed the latter part of that farming when I eventually got the jewel. But I actually just did Visital Isle flagging on this character. I was gonna say on a different character, but no, it was this one. So that's good. So now I just need to do the Dark Isle flagging part, which I'm not gonna do on stream, just because, once again, if I try to do that, it's a tough quest, and it's going to get me killed if I try to stream it. So we'll just we'll just wait until I have quests that I'm more confident about to stream those. Because I'd rather not die. Dying is one of my least favorite things to do. This character's only died twice so far. Although, you know, it does make me feel better. I always get so nervous because it has your death count in this thing permanently. it never goes away. It's not like you've died this many times in the last month. No, it's forever. It never forgets. And so I always get nervous about that because it's like, why would, anytime I die, I just counter's just going up and it's saying, oh, what a loser, he died like 537 times. But it made me feel a lot better because some people on the server were saying like, you haven't lived until your character reaches 300 deaths, you know? And it's like, that makes me feel a lot better about dying because obviously other people have a lot more deaths than I do. And that is very reassuring. Actually, my two-handed person I don't think has died at all. Maybe. So that's nice. Of course, then that adds more pressure. I actually got down to 1 health on my two-handed person earlier. Like, literally 1 HP. Because I was in this dungeon trying to kill this kind of boss enemy. But, funny story, I didn't buy, or I forgot to pick up any more healing kits. And I forgot to buy one when in town. So I was out of healing entirely. I had no kit, no potion, no food. But I was dedicated to be like, okay, I need to kill this guy. And I did. just barely. As I said, 1 health. If he had gotten 1 more hit off, if I just hadn't evaded 1 time, he would have obliterated me. But, it was pure skill, I'm sure. Luck had nothing to do with it. I'm just so good at the game that it just gave it to me. 144 pyrails, hot dog. Okay. I'm rich. These guys can drop a ichor or what have you that gives, I think, a denote, which is nice. So they're always worth killing all of them in the pincer room, just in case you get lucky gold letters or the Ulthoi stuff to get the denotes. Small hive portal. Unfortunate that it's out here, because this is pretty far away from everything else. You think this will still be here? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go through the mutilator tunnels. Then I'm going to go out the surface portal. And then I'm gonna go into that portal. If it's still there by the end of this. It should be, because it'll only take me a minute, and usually land blocks take a few minutes to reset. But we'll see. Because, yeah, these guys shouldn't be a problem. The swarm mutilators are the ones that hurt. Regular mutilators, they're big old wimps. They're just, purple and small. You. Yeah, especially doesn't take long because I know exactly which one has the pincer. So I can just select them right off the bat and obliterate them. Go. Now go out the portal. Get to the other portal. Do that. Get the note. And then that drops me off somewhat nearby to the warrior portal. Still here. Better not despawn while I'm just right here. I don't think it can. I think so long as it's in sight, I don't think something can actually just despawn in front of you. At least from a wilderness spawn. I know there's some things that can. But those are usually quest spawns. Down here. Chest on the left. Pick that up, and now we need to go backtrack because there's the surface portal somewhere back here. Right, yeah. Okay. Now this drops us off. Yeah, south of there, and that's closer to the warrior nest, which is our last destination. Final destination, as it were. You just put these up here. Try to put these into order down here. Just so it looks, you know, organized. It has the illusion of organization. Even though my inventory is very disorganized, as always. I mean, look at this. The writ has a pyrale stack between it and the other paper-looking thing. That's horrible organization. A random blank augmentation gem in the middle of nowhere. But you know, it's good that this character is high enough to do Bellis now, because I will need a lot of those augmentation gems. And that means that I can get 4 augs every 3 weeks, because, you know, you get 1 stipend a week. So you get 3, so in 3 weeks you can get 1 augmentation gem from that, and then you can get 1 each week from Bellis. And if I was part of a society, I think they have a augmentation gem quest as well. I don't think I've ever done that, because I rarely ever make it that high in rank. At least in the past I didn't. On my own server I got to... No, I didn't get to master rank. Okay, on Reefcoal, I did the dailies enough that I had enough ribbons to get to master rank, but they didn't, the server wasn't updated enough to actually include ranking up. So they just had the low-level society quests and nothing else. It was pretty work in progress at that point. But I did enough of the dailies to get, I looked on the wiki, I had enough ribbons in my inventory that if they put in the ranking up, I would just be able to go from noob level all the way up to master rank instantaneous. Well, as soon as it let me turn them in. There's like a limit on how many you can turn in per day. And then I think on my own server, I also did that, turning in the max allowed amount per day. But I don't think I got to master yet. I think I was well on my way there, though. Maybe it was just that I didn't do the advancement quests yet. I think that's it. Ugh, the advancement quests are brutal. That's gonna be fun. Hopefully, I actually get some, you know, better weaponry by then. Because, you know, I'm hoping to soon start rending things. Once my Tinkerer can start that. But once again, that's a real-life time constraint, because I just need to wait for more stipends on the Tinkerer. Okay, that's all of that. So we go to Allegiant's hometown. Can't move that because it hates me. Oh, we have these too. Dang wisps. Okay, now we're in portal space. So you can organize that and these. Okay. Perfect. Actually, Mutilator comes after you. There we go. Now let's go turn those in, and then we'll go to Mayoi. I can't forget that. Don't forget to go to Mayoi. Do I have enough pyreals yet? I do. Okay. I should go consolidate those so I have more space in my bags. Because things are getting pretty full up. I also need to start getting rid of these foci. They're, you know, augmentations. Once again, it's just all augmentations. You need hundreds of them. And the XP to actually be able to afford using them all. Yeah, we're definitely running out of inventory space on that one. And there you go. And then these. Oh yeah, and I also do the pincers for fodder. So I can disenchant things, you know? Plenty of stuff for my mana gems. Because they're, see, just like that. And then, do the highest weight ones first. You honestly give too much to mana gems. So I never end up being able to use them because they just absorb too much mana. Okay. I need to go to Greenspire and Maoi, and then we're done. That's all the dailies for today. And then I get to go and do it all again tomorrow. What am I looking for here? I was looking for Maoi. That's where my brain was piloting to, but then it's like, wait a minute. This is the annex. It's not... Maoi's not down here. I'm trying to go to Greenspire. What am I doing? Oh, and this also gives you 3 MMDs from the notes, so the notes are definitely worthwhile to do. Because, 3 MMDs a day isn't nothing. Let's go back to AH, and we get debuffed right now. Good. Dang it. Why does it always stop me from doing things? I always try to organize my bags right when I cannot. And it is very inconvenient. Okay, then we'll sell the rest of this to the guy over here. You done yet? No, I think it has like 3 more. 2 more. Alright, all of that. Sell it. Talk to this person. Not spell components. Trade notes. Buy it. Stack it. Bop it. Okay. Turn in the notes. And we'll be good. I also have a lot of stuff to put into the house chest, probably. That's the president of Dareth. Oh, what an honor. I just saw the freaking president. I didn't know he was around here. And where was the Secret Service? It's just unacceptable. I mean, can you imagine being the president and going into the town network without your Secret Service scoping it out first? I mean, the town network is a freaking wasteland, you know? Can't be doing that. Let's see, 12 mil, 25 mil, 58 mil, 84 mil. Yeah, the notes are the big money maker on that one. Which are just a tiny little bit from leveling. Just a hair. Alright. That was it, right? That was everything I said we needed to do? Not forgetting anything? Probably not. So I guess I will end the stream here. Honestly, things went better than I thought. I think that other than probably the collective 2 to 3 minutes that I spent sitting there like, what am I doing next? Where was I going? I think, other than that, it went really well. Surprisingly. Nothing killed me. And I didn't, get super lost in anything, which is normal. I don't think I've gotten lost in one of those dungeons in a good long while. But, yeah. Thanks for being here, and I guess I will see you guys next time. I don't know what I'll be doing. Maybe more Asheron's Call. Maybe I'll actually be doing something a bit more exciting. Or I'll be doing a completely different game. Who knows? I need to look into that and figure out what exactly I'm wanting to do with it. So yeah, see you guys next time, and goodbye.